Do you smell that jerk?
Smells amazing. Right now my belly in my hand. I'm so excited to eat.
What's up, peoples? Kevin here. We're gonna be cooking some jerk chicken today. Don't tell Rachel, but I stole her channel. Alright, for the marinade, this is what we're gonna be using. We got some scallion here, some garlic. This is Trinidad pimento, but this is optional, you don't have to use it. And if you're worried if this has heat, this doesn't have any heat on it, it's just for flavor. Some fresh thyme. These are allspice berries or pimento berries. We got some nutmeg here, ginger. These are the scotch bonnet peppers, but you know, if you want to use something hotter like the scorpion pepper from Trinidad, you could. Onion. This is bandhania, shot of beni from Trinidad. You don't have to use this, but we're using it just to get an extra kick. If you want, you can put cilantro instead. This is soy sauce here. We've put this in a bottle because this soy sauce comes in a metal can. And the reason why I'm using this one is because you see how it's coloring the bottle? Right? This soy sauce is a really dark soy sauce that kind of stains the meat, and we want the meat to get a dark color, so that's why we're using a soy sauce like this. Some cinnamon. I would have preferred to use the sticks and just freshly grate it, but we're going to be using the pre-ground one. Some black pepper, a little bit of brown sugar, and some canola oil. Alright, so we got everything chopped up and it's ready to go in the blender. We just need to grate some of the nutmeg and then just throw everything in the blender. And it doesn't matter, you know, what kind of order you put this in here, just throw it in. Make sure everything fits. And this is a Ninja, so this is a pretty strong blender, so I'm not really too worried about anything sticking in here. But you know, if you have a weak blender, you know, like something that's smaller or not as strong as this, just blend everything little by little. That way your blender doesn't stick. Get the rest of these allspice berries in there. Okay, we got the nutmeg in there. Let's put in brown sugar. Just a little bit of salt. We're using soy sauce, so you don't want to over salt it. Some freshly ground black pepper. Throw this a little bit of cinnamon. Alright, now we're gonna go for the wet ingredients. Soy sauce, the oil, and we're gonna add some more soy sauce. This is a lighter one, just to thin it out. Just use your favorite soy sauce, but I'm using this one we got from Kalu box because it has a nice ginger flavor, so we're just gonna put some of that in there. Alright, I think we are ready to cover this up. We're doing legs and breast for the jerk chicken, and I just want to show you guys how I'm going to prep the chicken. So basically what you want to do is you don't want to tear the skin, but you want to just peel it back just a little bit and expose the flesh. So as much as you can without, you don't want to, you know, tear the skin. And you just want to score. And I use the bone. See, if you look through them, you see I'm cutting it to the bone. So, you know, this way the marinade's gonna penetrate the chicken all the way, and then as you can see, the skin is still perfect. So this is what you're gonna want to do for the breast. Same thing. You want to just try to get underneath. So, you know, if you have to peel away some of the fat to get in there, that's fine. And you know, these breasts are, you know, very big, but you know, you just use whatever you have. So you get in there and then you take the skin, and you want to make sure that the skin is whole and covers the bird nicely. And so when we put these into ziplocs and we pour the marinade in, the marinade can you know, really flavor this meat. And we'll be soaking this overnight in the refrigerator because we're barbecuing this tomorrow. Alright, so this is the bowl of chicken that we have. Everything's scored and everything. It's also been washed. There's multiple ways, you know, some people like to use lemon, some people use vinegar. For this chicken we used flour and salt, and we just mixed flour, salt with some water and the chicken, and then that kind of like got rid of all the slime and all the dirt that was on the chicken. So everything's prepped and ready to go. Now we're just gonna take off the blender, and you can see, well, I don't know if you can see it, but we have quite a bit of marinade in here, and we don't want to use all of it. When you're making jerk, the marinade is not just for marinating the chicken or pork if you're doing pork, but it's also to be used as a sauce after you cook. And I'll show you guys how to do that tomorrow when we wake up in the morning and we start getting ready. Yeah, you'll just be cooking the excess sauce and using that as a dipping sauce, or even, you know, just the final layer over the chicken. Alright, so we're gonna pour, I say roughly half the marinade that we made. Alright, that's about half. And I'm wearing gloves, so you know, I can get in there with my hands. You guys don't have to do it this way. I know, I just like to really give it a good mix. But you can just put the chicken into ziplocs, pour the marinade in there, shake it around, and that's good enough because you did score the meat. But you know, I'm getting in there, mixing it up real good. As you can see, you know, look at the chicken's already taking on this beautiful brown color, which is what we want. And as this soaks overnight, it's going to get even darker. So, and you don't want to overmix this because, again, you want to make sure that the skin stays intact. So this is good right here. So I'll just take, so you want to get these big Ziploc bags, the gallon ones. I mean, if you're just cooking for yourself, I guess you can use the smaller one, but you know, it's a couple of us going to be eating this. And then you just start putting everything in here. And I think this amount of chicken will hold in 2-gallon Ziploc bags. Get the air out. And we'll fill the next bag. And as you can see, the bag is pretty messy. So after, you know, let's not waste any marinade. If we can stick it in the bag. Yeah, the bag's pretty messy, so you're going to want to wash the bag before sticking it in your refrigerator. Okay, good. Alright, so The chicken is already prepped, ready to go, and I'll see you guys tomorrow when we throw this on the grill. Okay guys, it's time to make the marinade sauce, or the dipping sauce for the jerk chicken. So first we start off with 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. And we just want to soften this up like if you were making stew. So when this starts to liquefy, then we can start adding the other ingredients. So basically, this is really simple. We just use brown sugar. We're going to use some type of citrus juice, like today we're using pineapple juice. Use a little bit of your favorite barbecue sauce. You know, I like to use barbecue sauce because it has more ingredients in it. If you don't have barbecue sauce, you can just use ketchup, but you want that little bit of acidity. And obviously we're going to add the marinade that we made last night. So as you can see, the sugar is starting to brown, and this is the part that you know, this is where you want to start to add all your other stuff. So to this, we're going to add the marinade that we had from yesterday. You could just smell everything, the allspice, all the pepper. You want to add 1 cup of your favorite barbecue sauce. And you want to add the liquid. So this is the pineapple juice. So Rashmi reminded me that I forgot to tell you guys what kind of heat this is being cooked on. So this is being cooked on very low heat because we didn't want the sugar to burn, and we also want this to just go to a nice simmer and thicken up a little bit. So the barbecue sauce and everything should help that happen. And we let this cook. Once it reduces a little bit, you can take it off, pour it in a jar, you know, taste it for seasoning. If you think you want it sweeter, you can add a little bit more sugar. Or if you want some more pepper, you just add some more pepper. And yeah, you can also add more salt, but the salt I think should be good. So yeah, we'll just wait for this and we'll come back as soon as it has reduced. Alright, so we've had this going for about 10 to 15 minutes, and you can see it's reduced a little bit. But what I like to do is, see when you pour it off the spoon, see if it sticks to the spoon like that, that means it's thick enough and it's good to go. You know, if you're using a spoon like this and it falls right off and nothing stays on the spoon, it's too thin and you need to let it go for a little bit longer. So 10 to 15 minutes should be good for this particular marinade, and we'll have the exact measurements down in the description below. So yeah, once you see it like this sticking to the spoon, you know it's good to go. So we're going to take this off the heat and we're going to put this in a container to the side, and now we're going to go and cook our jerk chicken. Alright, so we're outside by the grill. Weather's not great, but when you want to barbecue in April, this is what you got to deal with. So we got all the chicken here, and we're going to be throwing this on the grill soon. So I got the coals on the grill already, and we're just going to start getting this stuff ready. So we've only got coals on one side of the grill, and basically we just want to get a nice sear on the outside of the meat, and then we'll move it over to the left where there's no coals, and then cook it until it gets an internal temperature of about 165 degrees Fahrenheit. Right now it's directly over the coals. Just want to cook this for maybe 3 minutes on each side, and once it gets a nice sear on it, we're going to move it over to indirect heat. Alright, so it's been about 3 minutes. We're going to check the chicken, and as you can see, it's already starting to get brown. So we just want to check the color, and that looks like it's getting a nice sear on it. You can see the nice crispy ends. So we're going to do the other side for another 3 minutes, and then we'll move it to the indirect heat. Alright, another couple minutes have gone by, so we're going to check the other side, and look at that. See, we got a nice crust on it. So this meat is already seared, and it's going to hold in the liquid, so we can now put it over to the indirect heat. And we'll repeat the process until we get all the chicken on here. Alright, so here we're testing it with the thermopan from Hostmile or Housemile. Big shout out to them for sending this to us to review. So we see the chicken is getting to like 170, 172 degrees. This one's a little less. This one's gotta go, it's about 160. So the ones that are around, you know, the higher temps, we're gonna pull off. So you want your chicken to be around 165. So that's what we're gonna be pulling off the grill right now.
Smells amazing. Right now my belly in my hand. I'm so excited to eat.
Alright guys, so the jerk chicken is done, and today we're going to be eating it with some rice and peas and some steamed cabbage. So you can see the jerk chicken's off the grill, and now we're just going to take a brush and just put that glaze that we made this morning on it. And there you go. Who's ready to eat? We got the leg here. Nice crispy skin. Well, I hope you guys liked the recipe. Make sure to like the video, leave your comments down below, and let me know what you guys are cooking on 420.